In this video, I'm going to show you two almost hidden in plain sight features that you can take advantage of on any Gutenberg site. In my case here, I'm using GeneratePress as my theme and GenerateBlocks as my block plugin of choice, but this works on any Gutenberg site and, as far as I know, any block package. So what I want to do is on this headline, I want to style these three words to be a different color than the rest of the text. So if I were to go into my headline here, and let's say I want to take the custom travel plans text, I can simply scroll down to the color section and change the text, but of course, even with that selection, it changes everything. So what we need to do is wrap a span on this, give it a class, and a little bit of CSS, which if you're not familiar with CSS, that may sound intimidating, but I promise it's super easy, and I'll show you how to do it. And we can do that with the Edit as HTML feature. So if you select that component, click your three little dots here, and then choose Edit as HTML, you can actually, as it says, edit the HTML of the component. So you can see that heading is actually an H1 tag. We have a couple of classes here from GenerateBlocks, and then we have the closing H1. So all I need to do is add my own span with a custom class, and we can go ahead and style that ourselves. So if I just type in span class equals whatever my class name is going to be, let's just call this custom text. Then I simply need to close the span tag here. And then whenever I click the three dots here, I can just go back to edit visually. And now we get this little indication that there is a span tag on this particular bit of text. Again, disappointingly, if I select that, it's still going to apply the colors to all of the rest of the text, but that's okay. This is really easy and we have the foundation now. So what I'm going to do is simply publish this section and go back to my admin panel. I personally like to add custom code into a custom code plugin. In my case, WP Codebox is the one we're going to use. And I simply just need to create a new CSS style sheet. So I'm just going to call this my custom CSS. Type, we're going to change to CSS. And then what I need to do is type in .custom-text color, and then whatever color I want this to be. So I'm just going to use a hex code that I happen to have on my clipboard, and that may not look good. You can of course use a color variable name like from GeneratePress or whatever theme you're using. And now all I need to do is simply just save this and turn it on. And if we go back to our homepage, I'm still going to get a notification there even though I saved it. Then you can see that text pops up here. Now that text doesn't look good against the background that we have, but you can see the principle applies. Let me try to find a different color real quick that's gonna stand out better. Okay, so I went ahead and just swapped it to a different yellow color so it lifts up off the page more, but you can see the principle applies. So we added a simple span tag inside of our headline there, and the span has no effect on SEO or any kind of screen readers. Spans have no semantic meaning. They're simply just there for us to take advantage of a component that we can style in a case like this. Now, of course, this does work on the front end. So as you can see, it carries over here and everything works fine. So if we wanted to, we can add text shadow and all those sorts of things to that class, and we can really easily reuse that across our site. The other thing I want to show you is that if you have a number of headings on your page and perhaps they're set as something like H3 and you want them to be H2, in this case, of course, there's only 3 on this page, but if you had a number of them and maybe a whole page that you wanted to replace all instances of H2s to H3s or some combination of that, one thing that's really cool is we can actually grab any of these containers. I'll select this one here because it has multiple headings. I'm simply going to click this and do Control-C on my keyboard. I get the little notification down here that it's on my clipboard. And then what I'm going to do is open your code editor of choice. Can be something as simple as Notepad++, can be VS Code, whatever you want. In my case, I find Notepad is just a little bit quicker. So what I'm going to do is pop open a new Notepad++ like this. I can simply Control-V and you get kind of the raw output of all the components on that page, from your headlines to your paragraphs, your images, all that sort of stuff. But of course you can see I have H3s right here. So if I were to go ahead and just Control-F, what I can do here is a find and replace. So in this case, all of these headings are H3s. So let's say we want them to be H2s instead. I can simply just replace all of them. It says 9 occurrences were replaced. So I will copy this again. And then to paste it back in, the best thing for you to do, clear out your kind of containers here, add in a new paragraph element is what I find to be easiest. Click down in here and just Control-V, and look at that. Now all of these headlines are H2s. So this is something that I've used a couple of times now just as like kind of a quick and dirty update, so I don't have to go manually do this a bunch of different times. You can of course do this for any kind of text, anything you can do with the find and replace, this will work. You can take it out of WordPress and get it right back in really easily. Now, of course, for just a couple of headlines, it's probably going to be quicker for you to just change the tag like this, but you can see the principle applies. If I have a ton of components on the page that I want to easily swap, that find and replace can sometimes be pretty dang handy. Now, before I wrap up this really simple video, what I wanted to do is just simply show you that I have a course coming on Generate Press and Generate Blocks. Now, there are a couple of videos already released, as you can see, but I wanted to give you a peek kind of behind the scenes at what is coming. So if you check the link in the description below, you can kind of see where the status of the course is, whether it's open or not. But in the course, I'm going to walk you through all you need to know to go from total beginner to totally confident in Generate Press and Generate Blocks. I've set up these lessons in a way where every lesson builds on the last. So instead of us taking a monotonous look at every single toggle switch and every setting across the site, instead what we do is kind of lay the foundations in this first section of the course. Then we immediately jump into building things. Then there's a couple of features that you don't want to miss. And this is the pre-release version that you're looking at here. So this is not the final version. By the time that you get access to the course, there's going to be more videos, all kinds of other things to come, like archive templates and various other things I have ideas for. I wanted you to see this though, just so you're aware. Again, click that link in the description below for more information. Now, I wanted to just quickly recap that the point of this video is to show you how you can take advantage of that edit as HTML feature. Something practical like adding a span tag for some styled text like this is really handy. And then of course, find and replace, I think you'll find that you're gonna be using it more often than you might think. And having that flexibility to pull components in and out of WordPress like that with a simple copy and paste is really powerful, and I find myself doing it a lot. So hopefully this quick video is helpful for you. Drop a comment down below and let me know what you think, or if you found other use cases for this stuff, I'd love to hear about it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in a future video.